Hey everybody, it's Miss Susan, and for today, for Miss Susan's Storytime Picks, the theme is bedtime! That time where you do a story time where you're talking about things that you need to do before you go to bed. You're reading a whole bunch of books about how kids are going to bed, animals are going to bed, things like that. Everybody's going to sleep. And you might call your story time bedtime story times, pajama story time, nap time story times. There's all different ways that you could phrase it. But at the end of the day, we're reading stories about going to bed. So I have a couple of fun books that I read for my story time that I thought you might like. You may have your own list of different books that you read during your bedtime story time or your pajama story time. And if you do, please write it down in the comments. I want to hear it. I want to grow my list. So each time I do this story time, I'm doing something different. So these books are books that I saw online or new books that we have at the library that I thought would be kind of fun and kind of different. So let me share them with you. The first one that I love, and if you love superheroes or if your kiddos love superheroes, well, Bedtime for Batman is a perfect book. This is so adorable. One of the things that I love, and especially if you read this book for a really small group or if it's just one-on-one, at the end it has a bedtime checklist. I thought that was just so cute. And the fun thing about this book is it shows how this little boy in his Batman PJs tries to be like Batman, but how they compare a story about Batman fighting crime to a child getting ready for bed. For example, this is the child's home and this is Batman's home. As it goes along through the story, you know, there's a bat signal. The Batman gets his signal to go fight crime. That's the child's signal that it's time to go to bed. So it's a really cute story, an adorable story. Kids who like superheroes will find this fun and entertaining. So this is really good, Bedtime for Batman. And I'll have links in the description to more information about each of these books, including the author's name. So now, a classic that most of us either sing during story time or read during story time is 10 in the Bed. So this story is really fun. You can either read it word for word or you can sing the lyrics to the song. But what I find is really fun about this story is that in the end, instead of the classic, you know, they roll over and someone falls out, this author changes the words a little bit. Like, for example, there was 10 in the bed and the little one said, move over, move over. So they all rolled over and the snorer fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, move over, move over. So they all rushed over and a cook fell out. There was 8 in the bed and the little one said, Miss Susan can turn the page. Move over, move over. So they all bounced over and the trumpeter fell out. So the story kind of goes along like that. So it's really fun and it's very cute. The kids are really going to enjoy this book, 10 in the Bed. Now, most little ones, when they go to bed, everybody has their favorite blankie. So this story, Fly, Blanky Fly, is so cute. It's about a little boy who stands at the top of the stairs and throws his blanket off. And throughout this book, we get to see the child's imagination to what that blanket turns into. For example, he imagines that it turns into a plane or a rocket ship. How about a camel? And I love how the words are written out too. Trotting and marching like a camel through the zoo. March, Blanky, march. Spreading your wings like a proud butterfly. Fly, Blanky, fly. Slithering through the trees like a snake so sly. Slither, Blanky, slither. So this is really cute and fun. And of course the story ends with the little boy falling to sleep with his blankie. Sleep, Blanky, sleep. It's so cute. This is an adorable book. And for my online story time, I really love this book. It has such beautiful, vibrant colors. So it's easy for the kids to see the recording of the story. Another one is a classic one. Many librarians choose this book. The Napping House, one of my favorites. This is really adorable. Basically a grandmother that's getting ready to go to bed, and so is everybody else. The little boy is about to join her, and then after that it's just all these different animals. The dog is joining her for bed. So everybody joins grandma in the same bed for bed until a little tiny flea is on top of a mouse and everybody starts to tumble and fall and wake up. So this is a really adorable story too. And last but not least, actually there's two more stories. One is short and one is long, and they're kind of the same thing. One is called Kitty Cat, and the other one is Sleep Sheep. Both of these books all have a main character who doesn't want to go to sleep, and they're going to try everything under the sun, from needing more water to wanting another story and whatnot, to be able to stay awake a little bit longer. But the difference between these two stories, Kitty Cat, Are You Going to Sleep? This is perfect for preschoolers to listen to. There's only one or two sentences, or a couple sentences on a page. Has a nice rhyme feel. Kitty cat, did you wash your face? Not yet, mother, I'm in outer space. Kitty cat, put on your night clothes. Not yet, mother, I'm playing with my toes. And on and on and on. So that's really fun, and it has a good sing-song, so the kids, if they listen to this over and over again, should be able to catch on. Now, this book is, I find, it's really fun, but it's probably more for kindergartners. It's a little bit of a longer story, maybe a one-on-one. A preschooler can sit and listen to it with their teacher, but it's the same concept too. The child doesn't want to go to bed, tries everything so they don't get out of bed. But the difference with this story is that the mother suggests counting sheep. So the child's like, okay, I'll give it a try. So he says 1, and a sheep pops out and jumps over his bed. He's like, wow. And then he's like, 2, and number 2 jumps over his bed. So he keeps counting sheep, and as he starts to count sheep, he starts to get tired until he gets to sheep number 68. Sheep number 68 is not ready to jump over the bed yet. Of course, sheep number 68 says, can I have a glass of water? So the boy gives him a glass of water. He's like, okay, 68, jump. No, I'm not ready to jump yet. I really got to go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom? So this story is really cute because it switches places. The beginning of the story, the boy is trying to move heaven and earth to be able to stay awake. And now it's the sheep trying to do everything that the sheep can do to stay awake too. All of those same excuses that the little boy was making. And what I thought was adorable with this book is the boy is finally realizing what his mother was saying, because he's starting to get frustrated too. He can't fall asleep until 68 starts to jump. And 68 doesn't want to jump until he does everything he can so that he doesn't have to jump over the bed. And finally, they both tire out and go to sleep. So this is a really cute story. I really love this. It is kind of long. So if you're doing a reading to a whole group of preschoolers, this might be a bit long. Kindergartners can definitely sit through it. Maybe 1-on-1, or maybe like 2 or 3 kids, something like that. A small grouping would enjoy this, but it's a really fun story. I love it. So those are my picks for my bedtime story time. My name is Miss Susan. Thanks again for joining me. Again, if you have some suggestions of books that you use for your bedtime or pajama time story time, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear what books that you're reading. Like I said, I'm always working hard to try to grow my collection of books for the different themes that I use for my story times. So again, if you like what you've heard, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to ring that notification bell so each time a new video pops up, you'll get notified. Thanks again for listening, guys. See you next time. Bye.